Well, the plot just thickened. Oh god. If he has to feed on people that are going to die and need to die, then that's totally valid. That kind of makes me sound psychotic. Again, I'm only like 84 pages in, so I really shouldn't be judging her this quickly. Like, she's in a tough spot. Her whole life has been just changed around. Hello, welcome back to my channel, and for this reading vlog, we're going to be reading all the books that I have on my TBR that are my Fairyloot Romantasy book boxes, because while I'd caught up a couple months ago on all the books that were on my TBR that were from my Fairyloot Romantasy book box, I have once again let it slip. And it had a lot to do with the fact that I was reading Zodiac Academy, the fact that I was in a book slump, so I wasn't really picking up a lot of books on my TBR. But I am so back, and I'm so ready to be back in a romantasy world. Well, I have read other romantasies. My reading vlog of reading my anticipated releases should be out already. So I actually have 4 books on my TBR for my Fairyloot Romantasy book box, but one of them I've tried to read and then DNF'd it, and I don't think I'm ever going to read it, to be quite honest. But these 3 I do want to read. And to be honest, it's probably going to be 4 because my July Romantasy book box is being prepared, so probably be on its way in the next week or so. But I have these 3 to read. First that I have currently started is Verity Guild by Mia Cortland. This is the one I'm most excited about because I've never read from this author, but tell me that it's a murder mystery wrapped up in a fantasy romance world and I'm here for it. 2 characters are mushed together to find out what's happening, who's doing these killings, and all the secrets that are wrapped around that. I have started this. I am 120 pages in, and I will tell you right now, I'm here for it. I'm dug in. I'm hooked. This is so good. You're thrown into the plot pretty much from the beginning. You're introduced to the FMC, who's a high priestess of the God of Truth, and you're kind of following her along the story. But you also have the MMC's POV. Now, they are enemies. He hates her because of what she did in his past that kind of set him up to be where he is today, although it's not a very bad position to be in. But she kind of ruined his life in his eyes. She doesn't really see him as the enemy. She's just more keeping herself away from everyone because she has a very deadly secret. And if anyone finds out about it, she will be killed. And so when she was rescued as a baby, her adopted father was the priest of the God of Truth, and he kind of kept her hidden and took her on. He has recently died, which made her take her place as the high priestess. So when only a couple months into being the high priestess, things start happening. People start being murdered, and he thinks it's her. She has no idea who it is, but she's very worried, and she's just doing everything she can to protect herself, and it's a lot for her. So they're currently thrown into this situation. The stakes are high, and I'm really excited. I'm really enjoying the way Mia Cortland has written this world and written these characters. It's very immersive, it's very interesting, and I find that I really love murder mystery wrapped up in a fantasy romance world. So I'm going to dive back into this. But the other 2 books on my TBR is The Assassin's Way by J.M. Curl. I have read J.M. Curl's other series, Bow Before the Elf Queen, and I love that series so much. So I'm really excited for her newest release, and this book is absolutely stunning. And then I also have Death's Daughter by S.A. Barnes. I've not heard anything about this book or this author, so I don't know how this is going to go. I don't really know what this is about, but I guess we'll see. I don't really want to know anything, to be honest, to go into this, but it looks interesting, I guess. It says, at the back it says, time for her to join the family business. So I guess we'll see how this goes. I don't think this is going to be a 5-star. I think this will be a good fun read, but I don't think I'm going to highly rate it too much. But this I'm really here for. I can't remember what my July book box is. I can't remember what the book is. Anyway, I'm going to dive back into this, and I'll give you an update when I'm somewhat more the way through this, but just know, I have an inkling this is going to be a 5-star. loving how this murder mystery is paced. It's paced really well because there are 2 mysteries that are being solved, and there are a lot of potential suspects, but now they're adding in a threat to someone's life, and it's like the plot keeps getting thicker instead of with the murder mystery. Sometimes it's hard to hold the attention throughout an entire book because you're following one plot line. But for Mia Courtland, she has managed to stem multiple lines from the same plot and keeping it intriguing, keeping it interesting, keeping you hooked. I think she's done this really freaking well. I'm 153 pages in, and the stakes keep getting higher. Well, the plot just thickened. I am 319 pages in. I'm probably going to finish this today, to be quite honest, but the plot is thickening. We've had this element come out of nowhere that I wasn't expecting. I had so many theories in my head as to what it was going to be. This was not one of them. But now everyone, well, she's trying to find out how it ties into everything and what it means and why. And that's all I'm going to say. Yeah, I mean, I'm done for. This is really good. I don't even know if this is a series or... I don't know if this is a series or if it's a standalone. I genuinely have no idea. It doesn't say, and I don't follow Mia Courtland. To be honest, if this wasn't my Fairyloot book, I probably would not have picked this up, and that just seems like sacrilege because this book is so good. And that's why I really love my subscription, because occasionally it does introduce me to books that I would not have pre-ordered or I would not have picked up. And then it brings me to books that are 5 stars, like To Cage a Wild Bird. I knew about that release, but I wasn't really looking at pre-ordering it or picking it up because, well, I'm trying to be more conscientious about the books I'm picking up and books I'm buying. And it didn't really sound like something I was gonna love. I was concentrating on sequels and continuations of series or authors that I've already read and loved. And then I picked it up, and it ended up absolutely being a resounding 5-star dystopian romance. And to be honest, it is the reason I'm on my dystopian trek. I've just ordered a book that's a dystopian because I want to do a reading dystopians only for a week because I love them so much, and that was because of To Cage a Wild Bird. So I love my subscriptions and I'm never cancelling them unless the books get worse or like there's consistent like 6 books in a row that are just not worth it. Oh god. Okay, I can in fact confirm that this is not a standalone and that this is a series, and this ended on a diabolical cliffhanger. That was so good. That was so good. I have never felt more on edge on my seat, knowing that something bad's going to happen and not knowing how it was going to come about, what the effect was going to be. That was amazing. That was a 5. That was a 4.5. I want to give it a 5 stars, but I just don't have that overwhelming 5-star feeling. I don't think everything about this was a 5-star. I think for me, the hit and the thing that kept me intrigued was the murder mystery plot. I don't think I'm totally committed or finding... Okay, let me start again. I don't find the relationship in this entirely believable, and I'm gonna leave it at that because I can't really think through what specifically it is, but that was amazing. So now I'm going to pick up the second book, but I'm not going to do that now. I think I'll pick that up tomorrow. So I'll see you when I pick up the second book. Because I'm reading. I'm confused because her mum tells her that there was an announcement made on the day she was born. And she doesn't ask what the announcement is. Isn't that more pressing than anything else? So that you can understand what game is being played. Doesn't make sense. Reading update time. I am currently 106 pages into Death's Daughter. I am definitely getting the feeling that this is going to be something I enjoy and I have fun with, and maybe I'll reread when I don't want anything too serious or too anything about. Because this is good. It's enjoyable. It's fun to read. Am I hooked? Is it unputdownable? No. It's definitely not that. I think this is just... I'm struggling a little bit with this FMC. The borderline split personality she has is so frustrating. And it doesn't make sense. And I know that she has some sort of, like, she doesn't want to be Death's daughter. She's rejected it. She's done everything she can to just have that not be a part of her life, even though she's very aware of it. And then she finally defends herself, chooses to defend her territory, and then she's like, oh my god, what did I do? What do you mean? You made the choice to defend your territory. You were being threatened. Like, of course you could feel a bit nauseous, you know, obviously that sticks in line with her character, but it's just the line like, oh my god, what did I do? I almost killed someone. That just doesn't track. Like, to me, it doesn't make sense. Like, you've made the decision, you know, you have no choice to defend your territory. It was self-defense. You didn't kill him. So what are you moaning about? Like, it just, some of the decisions she makes and some of her coping with situations is just really aggravating because, and I know, I'm well aware of the fact that I'm only 200 pages in, so it's like, it's 24 hours where her life has completely changed and she's thrown into this new reality. And of course, you're not gonna twist your entire reality in 24 hours, but it just, like, I don't know. I think it's just the way this is written. This just, it's not working for me. There's just something off. I think I'm just not liking this FMC. I'm also not really liking this world and the old ones and that whole situation, because it's kind of like we're learning this information as and when it comes into the life and comes into contact with the FMC, but I also can't get my head around it. Like, it's like purposely or not purposely difficult to understand. There's no backstory to everything. I don't know, it's just the way that the whole world building is working towards the old ones. It's just a little bit off. I honestly don't understand. Oh, I know what bugs me about the old ones. So we're being told about Death and that he feeds on human life and he has a whole total disregard for human life. But I'm also like, so what is his job? Is his job ferrying the dead? Does he feed on the people that are meant to die? Because then you're contempt for him. I mean, if he's doing it for fun, I get. But if he has to feed on people that are going to die and need to die, then that's totally valid. That kind of makes me sound psychotic. But like, obviously that is his role. That's like, there's no kind of explanation as to who, because obviously everything's different. Like lust, fear, death. Like they're very different in this book than they are in normal typical books and Greek mythology and all that. Is obviously there are some Greek mythology influences towards the old ones, but it's not totally accurate. And they've made it very clear that it's not accurate. So then it's like, explain that, what that means then. What is their role? What do they do? Or are they just there having fun, eating? I just don't get it. That was crazy. I'm 328 pages in. I'm like, I'm so slumped. But wasn't expecting those two things. I did have a reaction to one of the revelations, one of the dramatic cliffhangers that happened. It wasn't really that surprising, but the second revelation that happened, that was unexpected. That was kind of jaw-dropping, and I did have a reaction to that. So I'll give it points for that. But I do find myself kind of distancing myself from the story and the characters. I just find myself to become more and more annoyed. I think more with the FMC than anything else. I don't really know what it is about her, but I just don't seem to really vibe with this FMC. So that's how it's going so far. Don't really know where I'm going to be rating this, to be quite honest. Oh, her decisions are so fucking backwards. That's what's annoying, is her decisions are backwards. It makes no sense. Minor spoiler alert, but she's all about like, I'm the good person, I don't want to be like my father, I want to protect humanity. And then all her decisions negates that, and it's all about self-preservation and like how I have to say this out loud because it's really pissing me off, but her whole thing is like, she finds out that Death has chosen her as his successor for whatever reason. We don't really understand that. Then she finds out, then she's like, oh, I shouldn't be Death, like he's made the wrong choice, I wouldn't be a good Death, basically because she doesn't want to take life. But then she finds someone else who is more than willing to take life and who puts Death down because he only did one plague in the last 100 years. And then she's like, they're right, I should never have been picked as Death's successor, they would be better. But I'm sorry, if you're all about protecting humanity and you're all about like how you don't want to feed on Death, why do you want to pick someone who's more than happy to cause more death? Like, that doesn't make sense. That really is so backwards. That really annoys me. Honestly, it's been like a week, maybe a week and a half since I last picked up the last Fairyloot Romantasy book, but I'm back. I'm reading The Assassin's Way. I did already pick this up today. I'm 72 pages in and it's okay. It's interesting. The world is different in a way. To be honest, I don't know why, but it's kind of reminiscent to me to Empire of the Vampire, and I don't know if it's because I'm reading it at the same time, but the way this world is and the way they're living is very reminiscent of Empire of the Vampire, except, I mean, I don't know too much about the vampires in here so far, but so the FMC in here is from a small village, and in the small village you're not allowed to be out at night. You have to be in your home, door locked, windows closed, blinds closed, like, and it's, you know, it's not a good situation. There's screaming, there's crying, you know, you're kept up half the night because of the vampires, and there is this city that is walled off and protected from the vampires. So people that live in there have a very cozy life compared to people like her in her village. And every year there is a trial that everyone of age has to go to find out if they are basically, they're called a Dukai, and they're not human, but they're not vampire. They have special abilities, and there's also mages, and obviously the mages have magic. So there are two different places that you can go, and you can either go into the guild where these people with special abilities go to, or you could be a mage and you could go study your magic. Well, you know, she is of age and it's time for her to go through her rite, and she's finding out everything for the very first time, how they're living inside the city. I'm not going to go into much detail after that because I think it's obviously, you know, what's going to happen. It's kind of predictable in that sense. You know what she's going to fall into, in a way, I guess, potentially. I don't know. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. It's interesting. I don't know how it's gonna go. I don't know if I don't feel that 5-star vibe, that 5-star read just yet. But I mean, I'm only 72 pages in. But I've had a few Fairyloot books where I've read like the first page and I was like, this is a 5-star. This is immediately a 5-star, and then it ended up being a 5-star. I just don't feel that for this right now. So yeah, I'm diving into this. I will give you an update when I'm a little bit further on, and maybe my opinion will change. I kind of wonder if I made a mistake because I'm reading this, but I'm also reading this, and this is more of a high fantasy romance than anything else. Like, the romance is more of a subplot, but it's very much high fantasy. And I feel like, because I'm loving this so freaking much, this is book 2 by the way, that I'm comparing the writing of this to this, and they're not in the same bracket. And I feel I've made a mistake because I'm reading this and I'm like, oh my god, this is written so easily consumable, I guess, is the best way to phrase it, where this is like, you really have to concentrate on what the author's trying to subliminally tell you, and you know, how all the factors are going to come together and where all the characters are in this point of the plot. I'm comparing them because while this is good, I'm just like, this doesn't read the way this does. Like, this packs more of a punch than this does. Oh, I feel like I've made a mistake, but I'm still like, I'm really enjoying the premise of this book, like the assassins and the vampires and the Dukai and the setting and the way like the outer village has been kind of discarded while the city thrives and has the protection. Like, that's really well constructed, but I do fear that I'm not enjoying the FMC. But again, I mean, 4 pages in, so I really shouldn't be judging her this quickly. Like, she's in a tough spot. Her whole life has been just changed around. I don't know. I'm gonna keep going because I've already committed, but yeah, that's just where I am at the moment. I really shouldn't be comparing books, but this is the problem about reading more than one book at a time, because each book I'm reading 3 books currently. FYI, a romantasy, a high fantasy romance, and another high fantasy Empire of the Vampire. I'm reading 3 books at the same time, and they're all so insanely different to each other. I'm 276 pages into The Assassin's Way, and I mean, I've known for a while now, but I think my theory, the plot, the twist that's going to come up, I've already predicted it. I already know what it's going to be. I'm 100% certain about it. I'm a little uncertain about the FMC. I don't really know what's going, like, what it is about her, without spoiling anything. But I've already figured out the plot twist. I figured out a while ago, but this sentence just proved to me that I'm correct. I don't know what that means though. It's gotten a lot better, but it's nothing earth-shattering. This is not a 5-star. It's probably like a 3.5, 4, possibly. disappointed. I was really excited for this because, I mean, it's assassins, it's vampires, and I've liked J.M. Cale's other quartet, but this one just fell a little flat for me. I just felt like it was so romance focused rather than discovering, like, obviously there was some plot extension, but I just don't know. I feel like the romance was the primary and only focus of this entire story, and I didn't even really believe in the romance all that much. It was very lust forward. There was no real reason as to why they were so attracted to each other from the get-go other than lust. And then how everything, I don't know, it was just, at least like I said, it was just very lackluster for me. I didn't really enjoy it. And honestly, I've been reading this for a couple days, and every time I put this down, I don't think about it when I put it down. I've pretty much just been reading it to just finish it and have it off my TBR. So I don't know. I think I'm rating it a 3-star. I don't feel like it's anything more than that for me. It wasn't anything exceptional or anything I'm really excited about, which sucks because the premise and the world this author has built is very intriguing. Like the whole assassins and vampires and the guilds and all that. That's very intriguing and that's very exciting. But I think the delivery of it was just, it just fell a bit flat for me. So yeah, unfortunately I'm rating this at 3 stars. But that is it for this reading vlog. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I do think my August book box is about to arrive, like in the next week or two, which I might have to do a part 2 to this because I've got one other book that I need to read, but that's neither here nor there. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. You can find me on all socials as Lauriereadz, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.